All right, well, going live now.
I really had to struggle not to be like, actually, it's this.
Don't you dare.
No, I'm not that much of a Star Wars nerd. I refuse.
Ancient Chinese proverb.
Oh, that's too bad.
That's too bad. It's a hell of a way to start the night.
Oh, yep. Amazing.
All right, gentlemen. All right.
What's going on, brother?
Hello.
We got a hello.
Hello. Welcome to chat. Hey, who and the what now? Justin. You know exactly the answer to those questions.
Justin and Black Frost, how we doing? Examinator.
Hey.
Good evening.
And Ben's here. Hello. Man.
Howdy.
Jumping into the comments today. That's fantastic.
What y'all's carrying? For the record, none of us are carrying the knife that's on the screen right now.
No.
So.
It is a good looking knife.
I kind of want to be, though. I really. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yep.
Bones.
Here to watch the pros talk tonight. When do they arrive?
I was just gonna say, just gonna embody the grimace emoji for a second there. Just kind of. I'm sorry. How do I tell them this? I'm not saying we're completely full of it. I'm not saying it.
Aren't you? Aren't you saying that?
I am not, sir.
I will not say those things.
You cannot make me.
Well. Very off topic. Paul didn't know that I owned a Recon.
Yeah.
What kind of a Recon? There's a lot of Recons in this world.
Oh, right. The Recon 1. That kind of Recon.
I see.
Yeah.
Yes. What's your steel variation?
This one's a 35.
Whoa.
What the hell was that?
Good question. That's no good for no one.
That was unpleasant.
I thought it might be my mic picking up something, but...
Oh, there. We're cut out whatever it was. That was crazy.
Huh.
Well, the aliens are listening. It's glad you could join us as well. What are you carrying tonight, gentlemen? It better have lasers. That's all I'm saying.
Swiss Army laser? Yeah.
Someone's cell phone is closer to my mic. My cell phone is my mic.
I thought that might be the case, but I keep this on the same stand I do every night, and the wire is just as close as it always is.
And I actually do have the same stand, but just as you said it, I did have a precautionary move it farther away just in case something is glitchy going on. So, yeah, hopefully. The aluminum hat.
Is that like an aluminum foil?
Well, I mean, did you have a hat ready made out of aluminum?
No, I mean,
it's arts and crafts time for me if that stuff is happening. I am not that prepared. Jesus.
I don't know why that struck me as so funny, but
it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Examinator with the Spyderco Pacific Salt 2 serrated. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Justin with his S45 Para 2.
Nice. Pacific Salt 2. Is that the C200M variant?
Is it green?
Yeah. I thought, I could be wrong, but I thought that was the green version of LC200, but it might be the H1.
Either way, good choice. Yeah. S45 Para 2, has it cut anything? Did it beat the Super Freak?
If you cut something...
His knives. He's above such things. Come on now.
What do you think car keys are for? Sorry, Justin. A little bit of a low blow.
What are you all carrying tonight?
I guess that's Paul's answer.
I guess Paul will go first.
I'm carrying an Adamas, 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 whatever.
Of the miniature variation?
Little guy.
Gotta say,
it's just a wee guy.
No, the wee guy is talking about. This is not wee.
No,
it's
sorry.
Right.
What's the blade length on them?
3 1/3. I think.
It's funny, most people would consider that reasonably sized, but when the original's got a 4-inch blade on it, it's it's a mini. I'm not jealous, not really.
It's my first foray into crewwear, so I'm excited to get a chance to kind of muck about with that.
Yeah, I haven't done much with it myself. I guess we'll see fairly soon. Yeah.
Very curious to see how that one pans out.
I will say it responded pretty well to a stropping.
Oh, good stropping.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, it's in trouble when you break out the leather belt.
There it is.
It's 2 paddles.
2 paddles. Is one of them made out of kangaroo? It's slightly more supple.
Less reverb on the backhand.
Yeah, I go a little excessive.
Oh, a 4-sided paddle. I see.
Yep. Paul's not fucking around.
I got 6 sides I'm working with here.
So okay,
it's like an Okinawan bow staff.
I am 5 steps ahead.
What's that?
I said I'm 5 steps ahead.
Well, okay, so before we go much further, I do need to ask, because it came up in person somewhat recently. You thinking about just paring back the stropping options a little bit, or do you find it really helps refine your edge to have that many steps?
So it depends on the knife. I find with my pocket knives, the red compound, which is the first step, is perfect. But taking the kitchen knives all the way through the blue compound, I don't even know what that Stoggen paste is. It half micron or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Taking my kitchen knives through that is nice.
All right.
And I will do that fairly regularly with the kitchen knives to keep from having to actually put them to a stone, because I'm lazy like that.
No, that is the correct answer, at least in my opinion, but I've been wrong before.
Not necessarily lazy, but a little obsessive.
Well, it's nice to be able to
have 6 strops, dude.
Nice
I'm just lazy. I'm just lazy about sharpening, so I have 6 strops.
They're not the same thing.
What he said.
They're not the same. Good times.
What about you, Dennis? What are you rocking today?
I carried it all weekend just because it was funsies. I went out yesterday with a couple buddies and had a pretty successful hunt. I was carrying the Ultimate Hunter all weekend long. It comes out to play in the fall, so yeah.
What steel variant on that belt?
Oh, I have the XHP. Come on.
Yeah.
Who do you think I am here? Jeez.
The superior iteration, for sure. I haven't seen very many XHP cold steels floating around anymore, like for sale anywhere. It seems like the last little bit of that whatever supply was left, it's gone.
Keep rubbing it in.
Oh yeah, sorry. Here, I got the ghost of the knife you lost.
Yeah.
The ghost.
Oh, I'm saying I kind of wanted to carry it for Halloween and be like, it's extra spooky because the ghost of the knife you lost. But again, felt like a bit of a dick. So
it would have been hilarious.
You probably just need to get that engraved and just being like, yeah, the ghost of Paul's knife.
It just says
the side or something.
Just says boo. Oh,
hate everything about that.
Yeah.
Mostly the fact that I kind of like it. That's the part I hate the most.
That's Halloween colors. It's on brand, right?
Indeed.
That
And
Ultimate
Joe?
Hunter, though, that's sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's and actually funnily enough, that's not a word.
Close enough. Close enough.
The guys we were out with, the other pairing, had an old version of the Ultimate Hunter with the old checkerboard kind of Voyager style handle.
Nice.
With the old VG1, I think, solid stainless on the folder. So it was kind of funny that you had the old generation and the new generation working on the same animal. It was, yeah, pretty entertaining.
Kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
And thank you, Zaminator. I was pretty happy with the way that pick turned out, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Good composition and such.
Yeah. You know, I have my moments.
Gonna say the color palettes.
I would have been an asshole. I've been like, boop.
There was a cattle guard underneath there. It was all steel pipes. I had a balancing act on the front finger choil there that I was very concerned about as I was taking this picture.
So if the wind picks up, I'm fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've taken photos on my balcony like that.
Well, that's
I'm gonna have to explain to somebody. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, except you might stab someone through the top of their head if they're not careful.
No, it's a roof below me, but it's like 7 floors down.
Yeah.
Maybe 6. Something like that. I don't know.
So, Joe, round us out. What you carrying tonight? What you got?
I get the Benza.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually brought it in today to help compare and contrast with a customer who was gonna come in but never did. So, but it was nice to bring it out and actually have it with me for the day.
Bring it out. It's like coming out of a retirement home. Got a day out of the home. Saw the park.
I'm not saying that's inaccurate at all. Like,
I took some photos in the leaves. It was nice.
If I want to carry a titanium frame lock, there's a couple other options that I just have been seeing more pocket time lately. If I want to carry S35, well, then my north arm tends to be the one I go for. But the Sabenza does a lot right, so it's nice to have it out every now and again.
Indeed. Have you ever thought about like taking a degrease into that wood and seeing if you can get it Cocobolo colored again?
I've actually thought about taking some what is it called? It's a spray on
Nappa?
What, sorry?
Nothing.
No?
I said Nappa.
Oh, well, it's close. It's a degreaser for brakes. Brake clean. Yeah, brake clean. Because I've used brake clean before on handle materials like my Carta that I've oiled up, and I'm like, no, I applied too much. I don't like how this is. Spray it down, wipe it once, and it's like bone dry, as if I had just finished milling it. I've thought about doing that to the Sabenza, but I'm like, I know that there's like 3A or 3M tape, the double-sided automotive tape under that, and I don't want to fuck with that at all, because I know it's pretty resilient to damage and corrosion and all that, but yeah, I haven't really been brave enough to attempt it, because I don't want to wreck the wood.
That is fair. That is fair.
Maybe
I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Don't worry. I know you're really hesitant about it, so I mean, I'll be that guy. I was that guy for Paul with another knife. I don't even remember what it was, but I'll mess your knife up for you. Don't worry about it. Like it's.
Thank you. You're saving me from myself.
I do what I can, man. It's for the better good.
You could get a really interesting look if you were very sparing with the substance on like a cloth and only cleaned off the flat. So you still had like a dark ring.
Actually, that wouldn't be too bad, yeah. You know, if I can find some like board cloth or something really coarse that holds onto the compound, that might not be a bad idea. I might try it on the on the lock side first, just so I don't have to look at it.
Stanson 357. Glad you could join us.
Yo,
indeed. What is up?
Ben is saying maybe limonene. I don't know
No idea.
what that is.
Is that like Goo Gun?
Maybe.
I think
sort of varnish.
I was gonna say I might need something a little bit more aggressive after all the years of handling this thing, but that's okay.
It's petrified. Are you kidding me? Let's be honest here. At this point in time,
I need chisels and facing tools to get that thing clean again. Yeah. See, and the funny thing was, if it wasn't a natural material, I wouldn't mind trying to clean it, like even just like as an experiment in the garage kind of thing. But because it's wood, I'm a little bit more hesitant about it.
100%. I totally get that. It's an organic cleaner, apparently, with a bit of a kick.
Okay, fair enough.
And yeah, Dick Richards, like I said, hammer and chisel. That's the way to go, I think. Yeah.
Like I said, it's basically bog oak at this point.
Swampy.
Terrible.
On that terrible, horrible note, we're talking about a different titanium frame lock tonight.
How are you going to segue swampy? I want to see it. Like, seriously.
Swampy, huh? there's no way. I had to double back.
Swampy.
I had to double back to the Sabenza.
We knives Upshot. Yeah, like.
Well, here it is anyway. Yeah, cool little piece. This is the limited variant that we're taking a look at because they have a standard edition that's not quite as fancy, if I recall correctly.
No, it's just this.
Is it just this limited run? Oh,
it's just this one. And this year they did a couple limited runs that were all like in that 410 realm. There was one called, give me a second, Fornix that came out at the beginning of the year. Then the Upshot came out, and then there's a new one called a Sear that I haven't even actually looked at.
Like SVRE?
Can we take just a half second and talk about that 410?
Oh, 410.
Am I weird for thinking it's weird?
Why do you think it's weird? Tell me more, Paul. Tell me more.
I just assumed it would have been a round number, that's all.
Oh, instead of just like 400 or 500 or, yeah.
Or 450, 425, something.
I do not know, sir.
There's got to be some sort of significance, you would figure.
But it was for this year, and they did 3 of them that were all in that limited. But I am seeing more as I'm going into the limited edition, so it's nothing new for Wee Knives to come out with limited runs of things. Yeah. But yes, 410 on this one, 410 on the satin, so 820 total. I don't know.
Maybe 820 has a significance.
Maybe it's a fancy math problem that we just don't know.
See, 420, I would have been like, okay, makes sense. But 410,
yeah,
there's a nice close-up.
I'm pretty sure the guys that are running Wee Knives aren't 18-year-olds.
420, 69 XX. Yeah,
maybe that's why they did it at 410. They're like, we're old. We got shit to do. You can't wait that extra 10 minutes.
Shit. Well, there's some specs if you like. I have to say, this little certificate that they made up, it's like a proper certified banknote. Like, it's actually really nice quality parchment. A decent amount of money went into just the swag that comes with this thing. And although it's not something we were able to capture in photo or video, there's this pearlescence, this sheen to the exterior sleeve that goes over top of the black box up here.
It's like blue interference pigment or something.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It's a pearlescent flake that they put into the white paint, because I might know a thing or two about some paints.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and they have blue and purple and red and green pearlescence that you can put into white vehicles to give them a hint of little something. Yeah. Anyway, that's what the box had, for goddamn sake. The knife.
Not even that. That's the box that the box goes in that had that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we got Joe over here comparing the like limited edition card to like the business cards on American Psycho. You're like, is that kind of text? Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, fantastic movie, by the way. Just gonna say, love that movie.
Is it weird to say I've never seen it?
It's not weird, but you should see it at some point.
It's weird. The whole movie's weird. Like
it's a weird movie, and it's weird that Paul hasn't seen it yet.
Both of those things are true. Yes. Anyway,
that's fair.
The upshot, you says.
The upshot of all this is that there's very little about the presentation side of this knife that's gonna suggest that it's limited edition in any way. Sorry, guys, I had to. It was right there. Damn it. So kind of probably jumping ahead a little bit, but I want to show a picture of the clip because immediately this is the first thing that really like just pops on this knife. It's one of only 2 elements that has any kind of real color to it, and there's a lot of color.
He's just like diving right into the good stuff. He's like, screw you guys. Yeah. There's no act 1. Just like
straight to climax.
He's playing it in reverse.
Straight to. It's like he's treating it like his Sabenza would over here.
Well, honestly, it's well. If you guys,
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Yeah.
If you guys want to,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you guys want to talk about something else before we get to the clip, we can double back. But I did want to show off the photo just because you did a good job with the composition and the highlighting. It's pretty.
It's all right. You know me so well. Let's talk about my photo. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're such a dick, Joe.
And again,
anyway,
in terms of color palette, it's the only thing on this knife that really pops. So I felt
it's too much. It's too much. I'm not saying black clip, but I like did actually compare it like in the pocket and stuff, and I'm like, no, it's so not me. Like a straight blue or a straight gold or even a stripy something, but the hammered texture with the speckling. I'm not saying it's bad. It's beautiful for what they did, and I tried to highlight that in this picture that I took anyway. But yeah, for me personally,
it's
too much bling hanging out.
So this is sort of a callback to, and I'm going to call it a passing fad, but it still exists to some degree in the knife world, where you'd have something kind of higher end, dressed up, half dress or full dress knives, as they call them. Timascus clips, Timascus backspacers, Timascus inlays. This is sort of leaning into that like splash of craziness.
Why are you trying to call me out like that, Joe?
Because I'm doing that, apparently. That's just the name of the game tonight. Joseph just gives people shit.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay, so I got mixed opinions on it. Like Dennis, I think it looks cool. I think it's the application is very neat, but it's loud. That's the other side of it. It's
yeah, like even Benchmade put it on the inside of their liners. Like
touch on that, yeah. That this reminds me a lot of the cracked ice.
Yeah.
just a touch, yeah.
Yeah.
They were even like, whoa. Let's just hide that a little bit.
At least
that's Benchmade. Benchmade doesn't hide anything. They open a knife like this.
I don't hate the clip, but I really like the black and bronze elements playing off each other.
Yeah.
And I wish they had just put a bronze clip on it, honestly.
You could have. I mean, like I was saying, do something like a blue clip with a bronze stripe down the middle, or like have like a two-tone anodizing in that way instead of this way.
Either that, and I would be okay with the clip remaining the way it is, had they done the same treatment to the pivot collar, the back spacers, like the rest of the hardware should match.
Or one or the other.
Yeah. This
so
feels.
Is this not a recessed clip because they were trying to save money? Because this, for a limited edition Wii knife, is not a lot, but they didn't do shit on this clip. And I wonder, they didn't do shit on milling either. No. And I wonder if that's to try to keep the price point down.
Yes. And this isn't a terribly expensive knife for it being a Wii. That's a limited edition. It's not that expensive if you consider those two elements. If you think about the fact that it's a titanium frame lock with a flipper ceramic ball bearings and 20 CVs, like, yeah, okay, sure, they're up there in the materials, absolutely.
Well, I mean, an Anthem was $600, but
well, right, exactly. Yeah, I think you're definitely right about it being a cost. No, virus protection. Shut up. I think it was.
Was that Ben calling me out on being left-handed? Is that what virus protection? Yeah, that's right, computer. Get him. Yes, it is left-handed carry. We were going to get there, but Ben caught it. Yeah, damn Skippy, it's lefty friendly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it sure is.
We knives, way to keep the cost down for lefties.
Yep.
Mill titanium clip, it's right-hand only from weight. You throw a cheap-ass clip on there with some hammered... It's not a cheap-ass clip. It's pretty. Anyway, hammered things. But, yeah.
The application's a little cheap. Like, if we're being honest here, it's a little... I don't care that it's like a generic-looking sheet flip. I'm fine with that. But the lack of recessing, especially at this price point, it's like... You guys are so well known for your milling. And there's, like, no other milling going on these handles.
Thrown a recess on the other side for the lefties and put a plate that was the same finish.
Yeah,
that would have made this knife for me, I think.
And they could have made a $400 instead of a $350 or whatever it is price tag. I can't. They don't show MSRP on Wii knives. I only know Polar Bear pricing. So, yeah.
This picture highlights a talking point I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
Specifically, there's 3 standoffs kind of all together in a triangle that gives you a perfect spot if you are inclined to put a lanyard on your knife.
I hate you, Paul. I hate you.
I'm not saying to put a lanyard on this knife.
No, but you're just giving Matt more ideas. And Black Frost is now going, oh, yeah, I can put a lanyard on that. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't and you shan't, sir.
Yes, it's an option.
It's a clever way to do this, where it's just another little element that if you don't have a lanyard there, it's not an eyesore. It's not a hole in your knife. It's not
partial to when companies do stuff like this or standoffs where it's out of the way. So this is not a bad solution for lanyards.
And can I say this picture doesn't actually do it justice on how nice the bronzing actually is. Yeah, like, it's a nice deep bronze. This actually looks more brassy in this picture, but if you look at Wee Knives' website, the bronzy is actually more true to color. I was quite impressed.
All I'm saying is other companies have done similar things, and they give you a plain Jane steel pin that goes in there. The fact that they took the effort to give you a titanium, like a bronze anodized piece of titanium that's actually got some shape to it is appreciated.
Oh yeah, there's the pivot.
Yeah, the pivot is
kind of a crap quality photo, but the color is pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially on they've got some with the lanyards, an overhead shot with the lanyards.
Oh, let me look for that then.
Lanyard tube or whatever it's called. You know, the things. We're pros. Shut up.
Well, the phrase lanyard standoff doesn't sound correct, but technically
apparently there's a question about what Rex Applegate says about lanyards, and I don't know who that is, so I couldn't tell you what he said.
You should know who that is.
Fairburn Applegate.
Okay, there you go.
Rex
Applegate.
Context. It helps.
Yeah. The Applegate Fairbairn.
I still don't know what he said about lanyards, though. I'm going to be honest.
I actually don't recall either. I don't remember specifically what he had said, but I think it's disapproving.
His point is you stick him with the pointy end, right?
That's mainly the thing with the daggers is the pointy ends. Yeah. That's, for the most part, what they try to convey. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Poke them holes.
So, yes, one of my parts, if you did scroll up, there is a picture of the left-hand side of this knife very clearly. And you swap Aruni, the purple screw and the black screw, onto the left-hand side, and all of a sudden you can carry this. Yeah, just take that one black screw out. All of the good things. So, yeah. It's an interesting way of doing it. And again, no internal milled plate, no nothing like that. It's just, yeah.
I think there's this fear that people are going to strip the titanium in their knives if they screw directly into it. That is something that's possible. But as far as how likely it is, I don't think it's really all that likely, to be honest. And more I'm seeing stuff like this, where screws just go straight into titanium. If you're going to put in a steel plate that's threaded, it's not going to hurt my feelings.
For the record, get an MXG clip for that goddamn thing. Well, yeah, Jesus.
But it's so comfortable in hand.
Why are you calling us both out at the same time?
Order a Benchmade valet clip from Ben.
I don't like the valet clip, man. I'm not on the valet, and I don't like it on this knife.
Yeah. Keep this shitty factory clip, I guess, Joe. You showed me.
I like this clip. It fits my hand. I like it.
It's intentional. I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Stop calling me out.
So can I?
Exactly.
Can I just say I did not expect to like this knife nearly as much as I did when it showed up.
It was a sleeper for sure, because it looks like a sleeper. It's like a who gives a fuck knife because it's a broomstick handle with a blade on it. Yeah, like it's.
Yeah.
But sometimes those work, like a bug out or whatever, right? An elementum, or as we're finding out. Yeah.
We should get some comparison pictures.
More neutral to handle. 9 times out of 10, the better.
Yeah, good videos start with comparison pictures instead of the pocket clip, but
that's not why we're here.
It's not why other people are here either, obviously. All right, one of our standards we're trying to use is my dragonfly because it's cute as hell.
Yeah.
And I carry it everywhere. So there's
You're missing a clip.
Significantly larger. No, it's just on the other side. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it fell off weird.
I wanted to highlight the Wii knife clip, not my dragonfly, you asshole. Come on.
Priorities, damn it.
You got me there.
It's not the biggest knife ever. This picture makes it seem a little bit bigger than it actually is, I think.
But again, dragonfly is a very small comparison, so some real knife comparisons. Yeah.
So we have an XL offering, and then something that's very similar in overall length. Like very, very similar in overall length. Both of the Sinkovich size.
They look really good together.
Like I thought this was going to be a Sinkovich 0.5, and it's not. It's totally a small Sinkovich.
I'm just gonna buy one of these, and then I'm gonna make Dennis give me this picture and be like, "I took it."
No, that's fine. That's fine. Just tag me in the credits. It's fine. Yeah.
There you go.
You have the titanium one too, don't you? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But yes, very, very similar to a 450. Surprisingly, right? So, but something you'll see that is better than a 450 is that goddamn thumb or pinky grip on the back end of the knife.
Yes.
And the Upshot wins. The Upshot wins.
Like that pinky spot, and I still think the Upshot wins in that category.
Yeah. This was the first thing that I noticed when we started comparing the two, having them in hand. I was like, well, that's different. That's better in a lot of ways. Here's a picture of it clip side up in Dennis's hand. Actually, from my own collection, and I wish I had the thought to take this comparison picture with this guy, but overall grip area is about the same. It feels much like my Voking does. You get that full support on your pinky. It doesn't feel like a dedicated 3-finger grip with your pinky just kind of hanging out on the end there.
Your pinky just waving about.
Well, like a fool, like a damned fool. But honestly, it makes the Upshot feel more substantial than a very similarly sized knife. Which, come to think of it too, this is about 940 sized, if I'm not wrong.
And slightly smaller. the Sinkovich, the 452, being as long and as murdery as some of the YouTube reviewers call it, this is much more of a what?
I said utilitarian.
Yeah, there's a lot. A hammer is utilitarian too.
Many utilities.
The primary of which being moida.
So anyway, the 450 length being much more EDC friendly is kind of what I'm getting at, and the Upshot. Even though shorter blade length, because they've got this unnecessary finger choil that I want to bitch about a little bit, because well, who the fuck is going to use that as a finger choil? Like,
so I tried holding it with my finger in place there, and like on some knives I feel like I can get away with it. This wasn't quite as bad as the smock, but it was close.
You just grind down that corner and you accept the fact that you might slip sometimes.
Or just move back the blade so I get more cutting edge, because it doesn't actually inflict on the handle yet. Move it back until the sharpening actually becomes an issue and do better.
That's fair.
I would have liked to have seen just no finger choil at all. Just bring it back to like that.
Yeah, so it's hard to sharpen, you know. Way to go, ZT. Good job.
That's not hard. Just put your stone at an angle, you psychopath.
Just put it at a 30-degree angle. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You
definitely won't scratch your knife.
No. Put your stone at an angle relative to the profile of the blade.
I'm aware of what you want me to do.
Myself for these scratches that are all over my knife, actually.
Or I can buy a better knife. But yeah, it's
not possible. Anyway,
I bought it on the internet second hand for a great price, though.
Paul, you're allowed to get away with it.
I paid full price for mine, though.
Anyway, and I think the 452 actually has a better job of getting that edge out there a little bit more, and maybe it's just because it is a bigger blade overall. But
as far as comparison from the height, yeah, definitely.
I think the Upshot could have tucked it back a little bit and changed that angle and got rid of some of that unnecessary wasted space. Because I don't know anyone who's going to use that thing as a finger choil.
That last picture of it in hand shows there's enough space in that handle that you could actually move that choil back if you wanted to put one on the knife in the first place.
Yeah. And I have a large hand. It's bordering on extra large, but I got a skinny hand and I don't like floppy gloves. So I wear a large. Yeah. Anyway.
Don't like floppy gloves.
No.
You shouldn't. You gotta wear a glove that fits.
It's gotta be snug.
It's gotta snap in place.
What kind of band would floppy gloves be? Like what kind of music would they play?
Like smooth jazz, probably.
No, it would be hippie. There's a bongo drum in the background for sure. Some hippie roster.
No. Okay, okay. But if the band is called Floppy Gloves, there's a guy who fronts the band who's called Floppy Gloves.
Like no, just Floppy. No.
He better not perform pantsless. That's all I'm saying.
The thing is, he doesn't wear gloves. It's really weird.
Throws everyone off as soon as they see him.
We got the wrong band name. It's actually Floppy and the Glove, but it's now just more of a stripper name than anything else. It's
like that.
Anyway, Upshot, you say?
Right, we're doing a nice
3.5-inch blade, 7 overall, 8 overall. It's got a weirdly long handle, and again with no weird butt end on the 450 getting in the way.
I was gonna say we have a spec list right here. Yeah.
It almost reminds me of your what's the Pembleton Hunter, the mini that you have in 3B with the extra long handle.
The blade to handle ratio is off like that. For sure it is. Yeah.
But I kind of dig it. I kind of like that.
It is nice. I think because it's so basic. Again, how many times has it come up in recent history talking about like fairly neutral grips and just general comfort? It's a well-designed piece. Definitely, and I think the reason why this was such a sleeper is because it looks, aside from the clip, it does look really boring, I'm gonna say.
Gonna interject, Fisk. Yeah, it's a really weird penguin. They put a flipper on it. They called it something else. Another company made it. Weird as fuck, man. I tell you, it's
maybe you see the grading.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Someone's got to be driving the school bus. By the way, glad you could join us, man.
There. Oh.
It's a pair of 4.
No.
That's what Justin said. Don't get mad at me.
Dude, you give 1 or 2 more iterations, this could be a pillar 4. Pillar 5, they just keep on getting longer and skinnier. It's like a Fast and Furious sequel.
Come on, let's be honest. The Pillar 3 is the best pillar. It's the right choice.
Well, until they made this Pillar 4. CRKT finally got their shit together. Look at this thing. Does Jesper Vox know that they're stealing his design?
I was gonna say something really mean right there. I'm just not gonna. Nope.
Well, for the record, the designer is We Knives, so conveniently not designed by any of their paid designers.
I was gonna say you can see it's the designer signature right over there, right next to CEO signature right over there. Yeah, good for him. Again, feels fine. Feels fine. Okay, I can think of one actual complaint aside from the clip is too loud.
And the choil sucks.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know.
But
It
the
doesn't bug
swedge
me
is
too much,
pretty,
but I would really prefer it wasn't that egregious. But
The swedge is pretty. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
that's not a complaint.
That's not a we're complaining here, Paul. God damn it.
I don't think I have any.
Hmm.
The clip is a little loud.
Mushy detent.
Hey,
I don't know whether it's due
don't
to
say
the
that.
DLC.
Don't say that like it's a con. I tip my
yeah,
hat to that mushy detent, sir.
The action is less than crisp. How about that? Does that
Learn to flip your knives.
it all ser-
Be
Paul.
better.
Hey Paul. have you
Joe buys CRKTs and ZTs. His crisp action is a different level compared to ours.
Mine too. Do you know how many ZPs I own? Like
Okay.
6.
So do you think that the detent wasn't mushy? Because it feels a little mushy to me.
I don't
It's
think
not
it's
as
soft
crisp
as
as I
in
prefer
like
it.
centrifugally open, being able to shake
Oh,
it type of
no.
sloppy.
I mean, I specifically mean the feeling of the detent ball coming out of the pocket. It feels just slightly a bit mushy.
Mhm.
It's,
Don't let your balls come out of the pocket, dude.
It's not like it's not like a crisp snap that you get on something that's not coated and has a decent finish on it.
I've not had an issue opening it, but I have seen other people that I've handed it to have issues opening it. Specifically, the gentleman that bought this knife today had a misstrike the first time he tried to pop it open, and after that, it was fine and it opened perfectly for him. So there's some validity to what you're saying.
So on that note, I was hearing from other reviewers talk about how it is both light switch and press button friendly. Can you attest otherwise?
I did not try to press button it, and I bet you mushy detent probably helps with that, quite honestly. You can't push button a ZT 9 times out of 10. It hurts.
I was gonna say I've grown so accustomed to never attempting to push button flippers that it just didn't occur to me to even try. 2 ways I did open it was like light switch and using the side of my finger like that. And in both
Like
cases,
a monster.
well, in both cases, you can get them to open relatively easily.
I'm going to apologize, guys. I didn't try and lighter it open like I normally do.
You should apologize for even bringing that up. But anyway.
Break my sorrows away.
I believe they were saying Boo Earns.
Oh, I was saying it. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing is on a bunch of reviews, I heard people really like this knife, but were complaining that it was limited edition and they could only get it for so long, and once it's gone, it's gone. This knife came out a while back. It's still available. There's a bunch of retailers still, including Cutting Edge, plug Cutting Edge, cutleryco.com and all that good times, whatever type of thing. But I'm just saying, with this limited edition knife of 410, they didn't race off the shelves like it was a Pena X or something.
We talked about these being sleepers. I think that's the best evidence of it being a sleeper. The fact that a knife this well made, priced the way it was, limited edition the way it is, has not sold out, especially from Wii. Yeah, I don't think people have been paying enough attention to it.
And it's got a little bit of a hisk of amplitude there, Fisk.
Can you bring up an amplitude so I can see what you're talking about?
I think the amplitude has got a little more like a swept up blade, but I could be wrong.
It tastes like boring.
We had these in the shop, except these ones didn't need speed assist to cover up no detent. So.
You're not wrong.
It does kind of look a little bit.
Little. A comment that came through my head earlier was like, how many times can you recycle different aspects of knife design, though? I think we're getting it to that point where the really crazy stuff is going to be the unique stuff.
Well, and the amplitude is just a skinny 0801. So, I mean,
yeah,
it was on a diet, okay?
Would it be incorrect to say everything is derivative at this point?
Does it have an edge? Does it have a handle? If so, it's derivative. Generally.
It might be a knife.
It might be.
You don't know.
I have a good idea.
So, yeah, this thing's a knife, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's about all I have to say about this.
So how many penguins would you give it?
Well, how many can you fill the school bus with?
Like,
how many seats are there?
Taking up every single bit of space inside?
Like enough for the nun to drive the school bus. Because safety first, right? But outside of that, yeah, packed to the nines, dude.
Well,
like
it's COVID time, so she's got her own little cube, right?
That little, yeah, exactly. Plexi safety. And other than that, you're filling it like it's a grocery store fund. Like it's, yeah.
Just cram them in.
However many penguins that, and is it emperor? Is it like the little African ones? Like what are we talking here?
Like
the gray?
No, the princess ones. There's little blue ones, isn't there? I think they're from Australia.
I'll take your word for it.
Or South Africa, and then Antarctica, I think, is where they go. But that's some nerdy.
But where do they come from?
Cotton. I think they come from the cotton. Joe?
Take it away.
Please, God, take it away. An actual honest-to-God shopping cart filled with pygmy penguins. That's what I rate this.
Bake them away, toys.
All right, so Fisk is slagging on. We used to review some awesome knives. So, yeah, we did. We did review some awesome knives. And those companies made awesome knives. And from those same companies, what would you like us to review? That's awesome.
We already talked about it.
So the problem is that we have limited availability to certain brands and getting stuff out there, and just don't have access to review stuff that isn't on the repertoire unless someone actually sends it for us to be able to review. And more than happy to do that. But if it's a Spyderco, a Benchmade, a ZT, a Chris Reeve, whatever, as we're branching out into Wii and Civivi, which is new, which apparently some people might take offense to. it's what we got to work with, and yeah, we enjoy doing it. So
when Fisk gets his Sebenza VEF serrated, he should send it in for a review. We can see how much paracord it can get at once.
At once, yeah. Just triple lace up the battle cord.
The answer is 15 pieces and a part of Paul's thumb.
Let's be honest, the whole thumb.
I was gonna be lucky if you get away just a piece.
We'll mail it back to you.
My thumb? It's a thank you.
Anyway, the Upshot's actually a bit of a sleeper. Go hold one, Fisk. You might like it. If you haven't already. And if you don't have held it, I know you're not a flipper guy, but.
So just a quick message. Dickridge is just saying it's nuts that Matt Easton did a review on those kukris we talked about last week. Yeah, I watched that video and I was so impressed by them. I had to bring it up.
Yep. Yeah. It's all connected.
Yep. This internet stuff, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah, you got to be at least like 65, 68 penguins. The Nun makes 69.
Go 68? You're going to stop at 68?
The Nun makes 69, dude. Come on. So 68 penguins. That's my answer. It's yeah.
The Nun makes 69.
The Nun sure. Yeah.
So I don't know how you guys score this, but
so I was going to score it, but I can't follow that up.
Well, make sure you wear a bow tie. That's the penguin suit, right? Like it's yeah.
Paul has left the chat.
Route me here a little bit. You'll see a closet full, and it's just bow ties, and the collar. It's got to be both.
The collar, you just wear it underneath a sweater.
No. There's no sweater.
We're
I'm
getting
thinking
into some
like
interesting
Chris
territory
Farley back in the SNL days when he was dancing with Patrick Swayze.
I mean, you could score it all the variations of QSP penguins. That's a good score. Combined makes a mega penguin, which is obviously what's that?
I said that's like the Infinity Gauntlet of penguins.
I was thinking more of the Power Rangers, but
Pokemon even, you got to catch them all. Joe's disappointment fuels me.
Oh, I'm glad somebody's getting something out of that.
Honest,
we are continuing to set the bar for your scoring system where it was set originally. And just because your standards have gotten higher, Fisk, doesn't mean the scoring system has.
Fine. You want an actual rating? Fine. This knife is pretty damn cool.
Enthusiasm's a 7. Makes sense to me, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that he's almost right on that. I hate it.
Let's be honest, it's always a 7.
They put a left-handed clip on it.
No 3s on this.
It's great. It's good materials. Okay. I personally, I'm gonna share an opinion here that may be somewhat controversial. I don't care if a company decides to make limited edition shit. Okay? I think it's kind of cool when they choose to do stuff like this, so that if you end up with one of those guys, there's a bit of coolness, a little bit of exclusivity to it. The neat thing about that is they didn't charge out the ass for it. It's a relatively affordable knife, given the materials, given how limited it was. I think that's kind of cool. Do I think that all companies should operate like this at all times? No, but it's kind of neat, especially coming from a company like we that is just prolifically shoots out so many new models every year. Sure, why not let them do something like this? And apparently, not a lot of people like that kind of thing, but they're still available, right?
I feel both kind of ways about it. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Right up the middle. I appreciate, I own Spyderco sprint runs. At least one. You know what I mean? I own one that's like, no, this one's special because only 600 people had it. But as long as you're not losing the ability to make your regular production to make sprint runs, I think I don't have an issue with it, if that makes sense. It's when you're like missing deadlines on stuff that you announced to show off these fancy sprint runs.
I'm not wearing a.
Exclusive.
I was gonna say I'm not wearing a Spyderco shirt, but certainly pointing fingers at someone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It's
that
weird.
too.
We're both wearing Cold Steel.
Or well,
It's true.
no, Benchmade
It's true.
today.
Yeah.
Oh, but Dennis is wearing Cold Steel. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I'd agree with that sentiment.
There isn't enough children in all the world for all the companies to operate like this. Hey, man.
Nice.
Sure there is.
You underestimate the world population, sir.
And the number of countries willing to violate those supposed laws. Anyway.
Awkward.
I don't know. Dennis, this knife, aside from the clip, seems like it's kind of right up your alley. Aside from it being a flipper only.
It's a flipper too, which also kind of kills it. The blade length is, I don't know. I like it, but there's enough cons working against it that it's not going to be something that I'm chasing after by any means. It's okay. It's okay. It wouldn't get carried. It's
Yeah. I was gonna say I like it enough to know that I would put it away somewhere.
I mean, if we want to talk about like something I would carry, I mean, it would just
Oh yeah. Well, talk about ZTs and stuff you'd carry.
Well,
it wouldn't beat out by 7.
Something in the personal collection right now that I'm happy with that this thing would probably conflict with would be my 0808.
Yeah.
At this point, because I'm not a flipper guy, I have 3 flippers in my EDC rotation, and that would be the closest thing, right?
I was gonna say, I think I have mine around here.
Are they all ZTs?
They are, sir. Yes. That's one of them. Yeah. The 609 is the other one.
This thing.
Stupid hole in the pivot. Stupid hole. Look, look, MXG clips. Look it's a wonderful thing. You guys should try it out sometimes and get that shit off your 450. But anyway.
No.
While you're at it, mill the butt into the handle so it's more comfy like this Upshot. Like Sinkovich should do better. Maybe he should give
Dennis references collection. I'm out of beer.
I do that at least once a week. Fisk hasn't been coming around lately. He's been drink 4 times probably over the last month when I've done it without you around. But I'll just drink. That's the name of the game. Anyway, I think we're about done with the Upshot.
Yeah. Yeah. And a knife with some interesting elements. I think it falls a bit short of the mark when you compare it to a lot of other options out there for the same amount of money. Nothing inherently wrong with it.
Good summary. Good summary.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean that nothing inherently wrong with it is kind of
a memoir.
An actual. There's many things wrong with it, my friend. But I think that actually does summarize my thoughts on this pretty sufficiently. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
If you're looking for it to you as a gift, would you be excited about it? It's coming up on Christmas.
Yeah, I wouldn't be disappointed with it.
Yeah. That would make the knife mean more to me, and I would actually probably be driven to carry it more often because of that.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. There.
Yeah, for sure. I got one small thing we can dabble on.
Most definitely.
Jump and segue. You can go to this week's topic that I sent you there, Joe.
Now I can open up that email finally.
So, we all knew this
Oh.
year's gold class was a Tengu, and they came out with a gold class Tengu folder this year. And then for 2022, they announced that they're going to be discontinuing a crap ton of them, like things, including the Tengus and the gold class Tengu and the whatever. But then they decided to throw a wrench in the works and be like, hey, just before you go, how about a gold class Tengu tool? And then they made one.
Let me see.
They did. Yeah, it'll take a few seconds to load up on your screen there. It basically looks exactly the same as the Tengu, just squonk.
And then they made 300 of them because they were like, yeah, we can't count on this being a limited, unlimited thing. Let's be honest here. So they made 300 of them. I have no idea what the price point is. I didn't even look.
I'm angry that the 300 of them makes it more interesting in my mind.
It kinda does. That stupid artificial scarcity hack is really working.
Yeah,
they're not too crazy, apparently. Yeah. So I don't know if they're actually on Benchmade's website. Taking
$300-$400. Is that too much to hope for?
Canuckarinos are there?
Canuckarinos over 4, but under 5. I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I hate that I just said okay in that tone of voice.
Okay, but think about an equivalent size knife from Jared Ogier using materials not as nice. It's going to cost over double.
Rationalizing it, Joe. I don't need this in my life. I don't need another gold class.
I forgot you already got one. Oh yeah. You sucker. You sucker who buys limited edition
once.
stuff.
Don't need to get me twice.
We're both suckers, but yeah,
350 USD. I can't find it on Benchmade's website because they didn't tell a whole bunch of people about it, including certain retailers.
So can I just say to Damascus companies out there, figure out a way to make skulls in your Damascus, and people will just throw money at you. Just
okay,
Punisher just floated through my brain.
Was that
okay, Punisher?
Shadows.
There was someone who was doing like intricate patterns in Damascus, an American maker.
And I very much appreciate the idea of having like a custom maker doing that and the amount of
like
going to that.
Be on a production level.
Steel to make some goddamn skull Damascus because that's the only way that I'm going to get a chance to play with it. Let's be honest here.
Damasteel make some? Oh yeah, because if custom maker made it, they're gonna offer way too much money. Yeah,
that's it. I wish I had that kind of knife fund, but.
And Fisk is saying apparently Vegas Forge can be all sorts of nerdy goodness. So,
can I see
it? You're still talking about knives, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vegas Forge apparently is the one that.
What happens in Vegas? You know.
Skull Damascus apparently.
Vegas Forge. Damascus Steel Experts. They do Mokume.
So just for the record, we're no longer talking about a gold class Tengu tool.
Right, sorry. I don't mean to derail.
We will come back to that though. Okay, limited to 300. It's gonna be over 400 polar bear dollary dues.
That's not terrible.
No.
It's a whole like 3/4 of an inch of blade.
Even though this is like probably like half as useful as the gold class Tengu, this is a lot more interesting using these materials for some reason.
Oh, the Tengu tool. Yeah, I see.
Over the flipper, and I'm trying to put into words exactly why that is. And I don't think it's just the fact that it's limited to 300. I think something about this format. Sorry?
It's not as crazy and busy because it's less.
That might be part of it, honestly. I think the format.
It's not so in your face. Yeah. I remember looking at the Persian by Steve Jernigan. It was a CRKT design. I think Joe maybe even owns one. I'm not sure.
I wish.
Skullgrim does or did at some point.
And when I saw it, and Ben actually, or Zach, one of those guys from the original Blade HQ boys, had one that they always talked about. I think it was Ben, and it was the first knife he stole from Blade HQ, if I remember correctly. But yeah, when I saw it, I thought it was going to be Ritual big or Bedlam big, and I was scared shitless of it. And then when it came in, it was just kind of more cute than anything else. It's still not a good knife. Don't get me wrong. Still not a good knife. But
2.7-inch blade, though.
I do have a bit of a soft spot for it. I'm going to be honest with you.
The size wasn't as gaudy when all of a sudden you scaled it down. And I think that's what they've got here as well. Not saying that I would buy it because holy cow, that's just unnecessarily blitzy. But yeah, so.
It's definitely your style.
Oh, it's right up my alley for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But that's the thing.
Can you put a lanyard on it?
Okay, something this small? No, but maybe, maybe a lanyard. Maybe a lanyard.
I bet you that back post, you could probably figure something out with that back post there. It's
I'm not sure. I would like to say for the answer to be yes. Quite honestly, because having a little bit of dangle would be right up this thing's alley.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what it needs is some sort of titanium Pac-Man bead. It's
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not the right answer, Joe.
It's a Pac-Man bead. I don't care. Put it.
Take awesome. My money.
Yeah. Dude, I would attach it to like a zipper pull. I wouldn't even put it on a knife. That's just such a cool little bead.
Have you guys seen Mr. Fisk's comment in chat?
No, I've been.
Yeah, I saw it.
Could somebody make a Benchmade meme of a girl force feeding the other girl milk? When he's like holding her by the hair.
Oh. Because they're charging you more for. Well, they're technically charging you less money. So.
Yeah, but like if it's a grocery store, you know how like at the grocery store they tell you price per 100 grams or whatever?
I know.
What's the price per 100 grams here?
I know. But you're not buying a Benchmade Gold class because you're worried about being cost effective.
Or have taste. I mean
No, but really.
There's some good ones. There's some.
Yeah, there's a number that are pretty good.
I'll leave it vague enough.
I'll leave it vague enough, thanks. No, yours still sucks, but there's other ones that are nice.
I didn't say that. I did not say that either.
Exactly. I'm appreciating the fact that you neither said nor didn't say.
Indeed. Anyway, this is a thing.
I'm annoyed by the fact that I kind of like it.
And I didn't realize it until they were already out because, very limited notification on that one.
That's irritating. Yeah.
Well,
it's happened a couple times from Benchmade the last couple years. They had some limited stuff that was like, oh, okay, yeah, didn't even get the radar on some of those ones type of thing.
Did they announce the full-size Crooked River? Or did it just show up? I can't remember.
The gold class?
Yeah. That big, that 2G monstrosity.
Well, there was heads up. We knew it was coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop spoiling secrets. Anyway. I think that was one of the advanced notice ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway. There's perks.
Not like you could, first roll a Fight Club and all that, but
I'm talking about the video we did on the Gold Class Crooked River like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. On whether the actual knife itself just like dropped or is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
I can't remember if it was announced at the beginning of the year or if it just kind of dropped mid-year release. If it was a blade show announcement.
It wasn't a shot show. announcement. I believe it was a Blade show or a middle of the year announcement or something. But yeah, it wasn't a beginning of the year announcement.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if that rounds us out, or if you guys got one more small thing to take a cue. What, I just spilled the beans about what? The fact that I work at a knife store and sometimes I know about knives before they get released? Yeah.
It's literally part of the job. Doesn't mean we can talk about them before all.
No, shut your face. Can't talk about any of that shit. Yeah. We don't know what's coming out.
No.
Nope. Not a thing.
Anyway. Paul, did you have something you wanted to round us out with, or?
I do not.
No. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I don't think I have any short topics to bring up. Let me bring up my sticky note here.
Well, there was some bullshit about Knife News selling some cheap Gerbers. So they announced the Downwind series, which is just a cheap Benchmade. Again, like they did with that knife with the access lock and trying to mimic a bug out, and now they're trying to do it with these Hunt series and put 7CR and having this.
Dare you even suggest that monstrosity is like in the Stuka? I mean, yes, in overall shape. In the way that it looks. Sure.
I am going to Photoshop one of those knives over top of the other knife, and you're going to be so sad on how similar they actually are. You're going to be like, I hate you. I hate you so much.
How much better this is in every way, shape, or form. It's not that they're not similar. It's that it's an insult for you to even suggest it.
It's
because they're definitely similar. But how dare you, sir?
Of course, it's got the Spidey hole. Gerber wasn't going to inflict on the Spidey hole.
How else am I supposed to carry it while it's out in the bush? I got to put an S-beaner through.
I think Spyderco needs to incorporate more Spidey holes that are functional.
I'm going to start S-beaning this thing to my belt and just be done with it.
You disgust and frighten me, sir.
They also have a caping knife. They also have a drop point, 7CR. Bunch of garbage. Well, I shouldn't say bunch of garbage. I mean, the sheaths look like the $40 Kershaws.
The handles look okay, two-tone G10. That's a step in a direction.
they're stepping. They're stepping hard.
Oh, those teeth look like they belong on 7CR knives. That's unfortunate.
Well, that's so you don't dull the steel with,
There's a time. Yeah, there's a time and a place for canvas sheath.
Actually, Mr. Fisk has made a great point.
Yeah, let's close on Vegas Forge, not Gerber. Well played, sir. Well played. Yeah.
Bail.
I mean, I have the page right here.
This is exactly, they know their market because the hunter boys out there that want a knife that's easy to resharpen and stuff, they're gonna jump on it.
Yeah, wax canvas.
3 for $45? Yeah. Come on, that's amazing.
And there is something to. Sorry, what was that?
You only get the one for $45. I was wrong.
Yeah, no, you don't get the pack.
It's a combo pack.
I didn't know.
Look, there is a time and a place for knives that are very easy to resharpen. I will acknowledge that, but I haven't found S35 to be particularly difficult to resharpen, even with very standard equipment. So,
yeah, but you have tried. The first time you put your S35 or your S30 or anything like that to a stone compared to stuff you'd had in the past, how did you feel about it?
I hate the fact that.
I mean,
go ahead, Joe.
I was just gonna say I honestly didn't find it all that bad. It was just like it took probably twice as long as I think I had another knife in D2 and then switching to S30 was this is definitely more difficult, but it took 15 minutes instead of 5. But I also started with the Spyderco Sharpmaker and I was using ceramic stones. So
yeah, I think that was the problem for me is I was starting with 4,000 grit and trying to put a good edge back on something after I let it go too far the first time around.
Oh, yeah, okay. That might have been.
Yeah. I struggled at first with my my 452.
Well, and it's funny, now when I go back to softer steels, I actually sometimes have a harder time putting a good edge on a really soft steel, comparatively speaking. I have to like consciously be like, no, I've already done 2 passes. This is probably done. Like,
Yeah.
I should stop here. Anyway, sorry, Dennis. What were you trying to say earlier?
Oh, I just hate the fact that I actually like the look of the caping knife. If you look at one of the pictures from the olive one, there's a couple pictures. They're like, oh fuck, that's actually a good looking knife if they didn't use garbage materials. It's got a good grind on it.
They waxed their canvas. How dare you?
They waxed poetic about their canvas.
Oh, no, I was trying to get a good picture here. Can I just view this picture? That would be cool. Here we go. It's not the worst looking thing in the world. At least you can use the finger foil on this thing.
I was going to say that.
It looks like a functional finger choil. Lots of sharpening space. I mean, your 450 doesn't have to worry about getting in the way of the shoulder on that one. That's for sure. It's got the same shoulder, by the way. It stole that design, but
yeah, I
think everything kind of stole that design.
I don't really like those forward shoulders. No, they don't do much for me.
Anyway,
I tried to combine forward and shoulders in my head, and I just came up with folders. And I'm a little disappointed in myself.
No, that's amazing.
So Vegas, what did you say?
Let's take a hard right here. I got their patterns page up. Flat billet Damascus, and they've got knife profiles all laid out nice and fancy. Okay, some of those look pretty decent. And by some of them, I mean they all look interesting, but that raindrop looks pretty cool. What are they calling this one? The Reptilian. I want to see that up close. That looks neat.
Do these guys make the Damascus, or do they make the knives?
I think they probably just make.
Joe.
Let me check.
They call it Reptilian because it looks like the upper game of Frogger there.
Dampanium. Dampanium.
Damascus. Isn't that copyrighted?
Well, it's not Damascus. It's Dampanium.
Exactly. Damascus titanium.
No. Oh no, and they make San Mai layered Damascus? Oh my goodness. Okay, I might be placing an order. So, this shit looks pretty cool. It looks like they just sell like apparel and the raw materials. It doesn't look like they sell any finished product. Which
so they sell you bars is that's what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it looks like they sell you bars and they sell you maybe a round. Yeah, Damascus round as well.
Okay.
And Zerkmascus. That's another one.
Yeah, saw that. That looks pretty interesting.
Yes.
Oh, round bar.
I think that's similar to Black Damascus too, when they add these Zerk to it.
Oh my. That's pretty. Yeah.
There's a lot.
You get this fine line between that and like almost like coral. Or like mastodon tooth type of like with the dense layers and the blues and the
Raindrop Mokume. Man. So thanks, Fifth, for pointing me in the direction of some interesting handle materials here. Possibly some blade materials too. Interesting.
Oh, we're gonna have to talk.
I'm curious as to what steels they're
about your life choices.
They'll tell you. Yeah. They're making some San Mai with your choice of 1075, AEBL, or Nitro V for the core. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Man, but everything I've clicked on has been unavailable. Oh, okay. The AEBL is in stock.
$750, and I would like to know how much steel you get for $750.
This much.
You get a 12 by 2 by 0.2.
Oh, what?
No. That's actually not bad.
Really?
Yeah, it can get much. Yeah, it can get way more expensive way more quickly. Plus, keep in mind this is San Mai and crazy spirograph pattern, so
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I think I just priced myself out of a conversation.
well, it definitely won't be out of the San Mai stuff. That looks a little bit too pricey for just a one-off project. But that being said, some of their more standard looking patterns, like this basket weave, goes from 240 to 674, and I imagine that that's dependent mostly on the thickness that you choose.
It's fancy.
What's the skull?
What's the skull? Is there a skull? Did I miss it? I wasn't reading the words. I was just looking at the pictures.
I thought that was the whole thing. There was a skull Damascus that they made.
Razor wire is kind of cool. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going down all the way to the bottom.
Yeah. Just see what you got to work with here.
Just remember, there's a delay.
No.
No delays.
I love the look of the reptile and the snakes and stuff.
From the past.
The virus. Oh, okay. That's neat.
The spirograph block is hurting my brain.
I'm not going to make any jokes about the straight line. So it's not Damascus. It's just a bunch of forward welded blocks that are all lined up. I guess if you wanted to attempt your own patterns and you didn't want to get the billet started.
Have you not seen Bacon Damascus? It's the straight liney stuff.
There does not seem to be a skull option.
Well, I feel lied to, and I'm sad in my soul.
The web makes me want to mesmerize someone. You're feeling sleepy.
There's a way to search in the URL bar here. I just want to see if I can quickly look up skull.
Feeling is hurt.
Nah, nothing's turning up.
Do better. That's all right. I'll etch some skulls on a blade for you and call it Damascus. It's all right.
You're gonna move to Pakistan first, because otherwise it's not gonna mean anything.
I'll sell it to you for $99 with a shipping tag of $99.
If it doesn't come in a box labeled Damascus, I'm gonna be pissed.
Damascus. It's 2 words. It means 2 Mascuses.
Twice as good.
Can I get cancer from auditory bombardment? Because I think that's what happened here.
You can definitely get
some auditory aids.
Yeah, auditory aids.
That's exactly what this is. God.
I'm pretty sure those are just hearing aids.
No!
It's just, those are just called hearing aids. All right. On that note.
Super cool website. Thanks for pointing it out, Mr. Fisk. Vegas Forge. We don't make.
I've heard of Vegas Forge before, but yeah, I hadn't actually looked into what they do or what they sell or anything like that.
I will say I've seen Mr. Fisk's pry bar that he has with it, and it was quite good looking. It was like it wasn't dragon scale Damascus, but it was similar, like very repeating circle pattern.
It was more like gecko scale. It's just not quite as scary. It doesn't breathe fire. It's
not as many teeth.
Yeah.
No.
Your pry bar's serrated. It's
evaporations.
I was just gonna
teeth.
give your pry bar evaporations.
You might as well send it in while you're sending in.
It is dragon scale, so I mean, those are the right tooth pattern to have on something with dragon scale.
It's similar in the sense that it's round, but they're separated from each other. More like you would have like rods in a canister and then fill in between with like another powdered steel or something like that. Is I imagine probably how they made it, but very, very like superconductor, similar to that.
Fisk's comment about that hamster industry secret and swapping for knife industry secrets. That's cool, but is there something I'm missing in the hamster industry? Like, is there a big leap in technology I'm not aware of all of a sudden?
The phrase hamster industry is terrifying to me.
I don't want to know the black market hamster industry. You know what I mean? Like,
was there like some sort of new release that's going to change the industry?
Please, no, it's not where I'm going with that at all.
Oh, this is how
I don't see how this is going to be vital information.
Nope.
I would love to apply it somehow, but I don't see how it's going to be useful to me.
This is how we
don't know how many hamsters you're going to own at one point in your life. He's setting you up for success.
Is that because I also own snakes? Because that's the only way that personally is probably going to happen.
Feed hamsters to snakes, you monster. Feed rats to snakes.
I'd sling them at least. Like, you got to keep true to the hashtag.
Right down the throats of an anaconda.
Exactly.
They don't have tails, man. Hamsters don't have tails. Like,
that's why you have a sling. What do you think slinging entails?
I assumed you were swinging.
And then entails, because that's funny. But
yes, big hamster doesn't want you to know these 3 simple hamster tricks. This is how we get killed by some deep web hitman who's been like contracted by Big Hamster to keep this information under wraps. So I don't want any part of it.
I was gonna say I know that rapper, but I forget where I know him from. Big Hamsters. He's got the jam. I'm just saying. Hamster.
I think we've run our. I don't want to get into
Big Hamster. Apparently,
I don't want to get into Big Hamster reviews. Let's keep that a industry secret.
I'm gonna stick to small to average hamster reviews. None of this big hamster stuff.
Can we just get a big hamster? Can that be a thing?
You can. You're a big boy. You can do whatever you want. Talk to Fisk. He'll mail one to you. It may or may not make it.
If it gets stuck at customs, I'll just get a skeleton.
Oh.
Poke holes before he's in there.
No, but I want a guinea pig sized hamster. Make it happen. Geneticists, figure it out.
Well, what are those?
That'll feed my snakes for a month.
Capybaras, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a capybara. I want one of those too. But I also want a giant hamster and a guinea pig and some other things. And no snakes, because,
we're not allowed to be friends anymore.
No. It's not about being friends. It's just a conflict of interest.
That's the thing. I've owned snakes. I like snakes. If you got one, you can't have the other, I feel.
Yeah, that's fair. Schrodinger's hamster. Jesus Christ.
It's kind of like ringing the bell.
Justin wants a koa? Is that what they're called? The animal that smiles at everybody?
Oh.
It's got no natural predators, so it doesn't run away.
Those things are
we'll see about that when it gets into a pit of snakes. No natural enemies.
You put it there. That's not natural.
Being the optimal word here. It's not I don't mean organic in the sense that sure, it's made of food.
Natural enemies. Still plenty of natural enemies. He just doesn't know about it.
It technically contains carbon, therefore. No. In its natural habitat.
All right. I'll give that one to you.
Wolverine. No. There's only one Wolverine, and he's a little angry.
Mm-hmm.
Just the one, though. All the rest of them, they're cool guys.
Those other Wolverines, they're hip.
They're known for being calm and cool under pressure,
Mr. Fisk, this review is lit. Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm sorry that someone used the term lit in our fucking comments. Anyway.
Dennis, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, indeed. Jesus. Yeah. Thank Cutting Edge for letting us play with the Upshot. It's not the fanciest limited edition thing we played with for a while, but that might not necessarily be a bad thing. So thanks for that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It punched above its weight. I liked it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about Instagram or Patreon or YouTube or something.
Right.
Like, Jesus. Close out, you son of a bitch. Jesus.
Leaving now.
Go follow Instagram because Joe's going to leave if you don't. Please.
He's the host. It'd just be cut short all of a sudden. Like, it's, yeah.
That's for the best.
Yeah.
We are legitimately like 15 people away from doing a giveaway for hitting a G note. So
yeah, we got to figure out what we're giving away. It's a true story. There's things.
High fives?
There's always things. So yeah.
Maybe even a low five thrown in.
Depends on what the shipping is. Like, I can't be throwing in low fives for nothing. Like,
note to self, Justin. Dennis's low fives come at a premium.
wow. Come on. Let's get past first base here before we go for the home run. Like,
oh boy.
It's top bet around here.
All right. Yeah, thanks to everyone who is subscribed to our Patreon. Couple guys appreciate the continuous support. Yeah, we're using those funds to give back something to you guys. So one way or another, it's all going back to you guys at the end of it all. We're not putting a dime to ourselves on this next one. It's just going to go to spoil you guys for helping us out. So yeah, thanks again for that. We'll make that announcement shortly-ish.
We're running into Christmas.
I was just gonna say
we're not in December yet. Shut up.
We're trying
to feel like it.
Yeah.
Update: his cat collar flashlight is still awesome.
Nice.
That's good news.
It's good to hear.
That's his the headlamp that we sent him.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
His cat needs to see where he goes when he's going to the bathroom at night, right? So
yeah,
I mean,
we all
hopefully on Fisk's bed. No, I'm just this corner right over here.
In the eyes.
Just gonna say
dominance.
right in the mouth.
Oh,
Joe, why do you always like? I was already towing the line, and he's like, "No, ankle deep."
That is the name.
Came full circle. That's
of his memoir.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that title. There's a meme about that.
I don't think we have to thank anyone else.
No, get us out of here, please.
Thank everyone who joined us tonight, at the very least. Yeah. More reviews probably to come soon-ish, as fun as ridiculous as they are. So thanks again, guys. Have a great night. I am who I am. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
Exile.ca.
Thanks once again, guys. Have a good night.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Meh.
Meh.
See?
Vague pirate sounds.